Blush, bronzer, and highlighter. These are three important elements to sculpt the face. And if no one's told you, these products, the placement has changed. And in this video, I'm going to show you the new areas as to where we should put them for a more youthful and just a more modern approach. It's just what we're doing lately, and let's get into it. So on this side of my face, I'm going to do it in the wrong way, the old-fashioned way. Obviously, don't come for me in the comments. This is just makeup and you can apply it however you would like to. I'm just here to tell you about the new placement, the new techniques of what's happening if you wanted to know. So the old way, I'm going to do the old way on this side and the new way on this side. So I'm just going to quickly do the old way and come back to you. Okay, so on this side, I have quickly demonstrated the old way of applying bronzer, blush, and highlighter. It used to be like this, one stacked directly on top of the other. Bronzer or contour element was nestled right in this area. You would like suck your cheeks in and you would apply it underneath like this, creating a pronounced fuller type of cheek here. Then blush would be you smile and you apply the blush right here on the tops of the cheeks and kind of whisk it up, which is, you know, perfect. And then directly, like just above the blush, you would roll the highlighter right on top of that. Obviously they would all blur together. It's not exactly three stripes, although some people's, you could say it looks like that, but essentially that was the older way. I mean, not that old, but the new way we're going to do on this side. Okay, so still similar theory. The placement has just slightly moved, ever so slightly. So I'm going to use the same products that I used on this side. Really enjoying this. I've had this for a while, but I've just started using it a lot more lately. The Rare Beauty liquid bronzer, and I use the shade Gentle, and yeah, I like it. It surprised me. I wouldn't think I would like lean to this so often, but I really do. So the new placements for bronzer. Bronzer is now higher up, wrapping around the temples. And the reason for this is to give a more lifted, natural look and not making our face look too hollow and cut and chiseled, which can give you a more sunken appearance, which I am someone that has to be very careful with because I have a very narrow, small face and I can look very sunken quite quickly, depending on the lighting. So this is really important for me as well to remember and not fall into the habit of always putting it where we used to put it. Bronzer is now up here more. Up here and up here. I don't think the forehead area has really changed, and yeah, we're more talking about these areas, not so much any other areas. All the other areas are fine. Okay. So you can see bronzer is now more around this area as opposed to nestling right in here. Okay, so I'm going to blend this out just like I did on the other side. And it gives shape and contour to the face, still wrapping the face with warmth, but not chiseling it so much. And depending on your forehead, whether you need it so much on your forehead, I feel like I have a huge forehead, so I do like to, you know, layer a fair bit of bronzer there. And on my tip of my nose, I don't love the length of my nose, so I always like to just knock it back and not make it so bright. Subtle, but it's just adding the warmth here instead of going in this stripe motion. Putting it further back, sculpting the face, but not hollowing the face out. Now, blush is of a similar thought process, a similar idea of lifting the face, and blush is basically where we used to put highlighter. So highlighter right up the top. Now that's our blush. We're moving blush higher and higher. This is a Korean pot of blush from fwee, and this is the shade Baby. It is very cute. And blush is going all the way up here now. Really where you would think that you put highlighter before. Right on the tippy toes, tops of your cheekbones is where we're now putting it. And really not bringing it in too far in the center of your face. When you see your eyeball color, where your iris is, really keeping it on this side of it, never bringing it on this side. So really far back, really right where you used to put highlighter is where we're now placing our blush. Oh my god. And blending up into that bronzer, merging the two together so much. A lot of merging happening and almost like draping it right around. Put a little bit of brow bone even with your bronzer. And that is the new placement of blush. A very lifted idea, lifted look of blush, not bringing it too low. If you start to bring blush like around here and lower, you're going to look more sallow, more drawn down, and that's generally not ever the goal. So lifted blush. So make sure you can see that. There's the place for it. Just add a little bit more so you can see. Now you might think, if we're putting blush where we used to put highlighter, then where does the highlighter go? Well, that is a good question. Highlighter is now a blush topper. Okay, it's been rephrased. It's been remarketed as a blush topper. This actually isn't even a highlighter. This is an eyeshadow from a Japanese brand, and it's like a cream to powder formula. It's not new. I've had it in my collection for ages. I just think it would be pretty. I actually don't really know even where you guys could buy this. I'm sure I can find it online somewhere. I'll link it down below. So highlighter is now a blush topper. Okay, and instead of going in with that stripy shining beam that's reaching to the stars, you're going to place it in a more dispersed way and on the tops of your cheeks here. Think Sabrina Carpenter. I think she does this so well. When she smiles, there's always that little glisten here. Could be from youthfulness and skin, or it could be a little bit of highlighter. We will never know probably. But instead of going in with that stripe, we are going to, depending on the product that you're using, dab it here on the apples of the cheeks, which I think gives a fullness to the face. You look full and youthful, and it's pretty. That's what highlighter is, right? So just here, more of like a round, dispersed area. Can put it on top of the blush, and that's highlighter. Try not to bring it too low. I might have brought it in a little bit too close, but that's the general area, as opposed to just a like unnatural straight line, 3 lines. We have it draped a little bit differently. Blush still goes like that, but much further up and higher, and then highlighter is a wash over the top as a blush topper. You do want to make sure with your bronzer that you connect your forehead one to the side here. Everything needs to be blended nicely. So that is the differences. That is the old way, the more stripy, diagonal, stacked on top of each other, and the new more modern way to do it, with the draping effect, the bronzer up higher, the blush up higher, and highlighter if you choose to, which highlighter is definitely not something that I do most days. It's definitely just for demonstration purposes for this video, but that would be how you apply it on top as a blush topper. It's all about giving a lift to the face and not looking so angular and sharp, and I really like this way. I'd like to know, are you going to tweak and update your placements of your bronzer and blush primarily? Leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to know if you already knew about this, or this has made you like rethink and reframe your placement of your products. And as always, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. It really helps. It just lets me have some encouragement and know that you are enjoying the videos that I put a lot of time and energy into. And I will see you in next week's video. Bye.